I sat in my parents' living room, listening to them gush about my sister's upcoming wedding. My mother's eyes landed on me, that same sharp, evaluating stare I'd known all my life. "Lena," she said, her tone too careful to be kind, "we've been thinking it might be better if you don't come to Veronica's wedding." My father nodded solemnly. "You understand, right? It's a very high-end event, lots of important people, very image-conscious." Across the table, my sister Veronica didn't even look up from her phone. Honestly, I think that's for the best. That was it. The unspoken truth finally said out loud. They didn't want me there because I didn't fit. Not their brand of perfection, not their curated fantasy of a flawless family. My name is Lena. I'm 29 years old and work as a data analyst for a mid-sized tech company. It's stable, analytical, and yes, quiet. But in my family, quiet might as well mean invisible. I grew up as the overlooked daughter in a household obsessed with image. My parents, upper middle class and status-driven, cared about perception more than affection. My father owns a car dealership. My mother's a real estate agent, both industries where image is everything. Then there's Veronica, my younger sister. She's 26, radiant, and engaged to Blake, a wealthy businessman's son with a perfect jawline and an even more perfect Instagram feed. Veronica works in influencer marketing and boasts 50,000 followers who worship every filtered post. She's their masterpiece, beautiful, social, adored. Me? I was the smart one, which in my family's language meant unremarkable. My parents funded Veronica's every step: college tuition, apartment, new car, lavish trips. I got partial help and a lecture about independence. I worked through school, paid my rent, and built a career on my own. Veronica's wedding was set to be a grand production, an $80,000 spectacle with a guest list of 200, an influencer photographer, and a venue straight out of a magazine. I'd helped her plan every detail, finding caterers, calling vendors, managing spreadsheets, running errands. I did all the work without complaint, hoping maybe, just maybe, someone would finally notice how much I gave. But I was never the aesthetic they wanted. Still, what they didn't know was that I'd been quietly preparing something far bigger than their little show, an escape they couldn't predict. If you've ever been the forgotten one in your own family, hit subscribe and tell me where you're watching from. 3 months before the wedding, I was deep into wedding prep, doing vendor calls while Veronica texted me endless to-do lists. "Can you handle the florist?" she said one afternoon. "I've got a brand collab shoot." My parents constantly praised her, her looks, her engagement, her career, as if I were just a background character in her story. 2 months before the wedding, they scheduled a family photo shoot for the wedding website. The photographer set up in a sunlit garden, pastel colors everywhere. My mother turned to me mid-shoot. "Lena, maybe you should sit this one out. We're going for a specific aesthetic." I blinked. "But I'm family." My father smiled stiffly. "We're doing immediate family photos first. Just us and Veronica. You can join for the casual ones later." The casual ones later never happened. The photographer ran out of time. A week later, the wedding website went live. Glossy photos of Veronica, my parents, Blake's family, smiling, glamorous, complete. I wasn't in a single shot, not even mentioned. 1 month before the wedding, My parents called a family meeting. I assumed it was to finalize roles. Maybe I'd be a bridesmaid, or at least involved somehow. Instead, my mother folded her hands and said, "Lena, we've been thinking about the wedding. It's going to be very high profile. Lots of Blake's father's associates, business partners. It's upscale." My father added quickly, "There'll be photographers everywhere. We don't want any awkward moments." I frowned. "What are you saying?" My mother avoided my eyes. "We just think it might be better if you don't attend." Silence, long and suffocating. "You don't want me at my sister's wedding?" I asked quietly. My father sighed. "It's not that. You just don't always come across well in social settings. You're not exactly camera ready." My mother nodded sympathetically. "Veronica's worked so hard for this. We don't want anything to detract from the image." Veronica still hadn't looked up from her phone. "It's fine, really. This is for the best." My throat tightened. "So I'm not invited?" My mother tried to make it sound gentle. "You're invited to the small family brunch afterward. Just intimate, low-key." My father leaned forward. "This is what's best for everyone. You understand, right?" I stood, grabbed my bag. My mother's voice turned sharp. "Lena, don't make this dramatic. We're being reasonable." I walked out. In my car, I sat staring at the steering wheel for a long time before whispering to myself, if they don't want me there, I won't be there, anywhere. The rewrite of the family narrative days. Later, our family group chat buzzed with excitement. Venue sneak peeks, dress fittings, decor mock-ups. Extended relatives chimed in. My aunt commented, "Can't wait to see everyone. Will Lena be in the wedding party?" My mother replied instantly, "Sadly, Lena has a work conflict that weekend." A lie, a neat, polished lie to hide their cruelty. My cousin sent me a private message. "I'm sorry. That's messed up." I didn't correct anyone. I let them build their fiction, let them make me invisible. But invisibility has its advantages. It lets you move unnoticed. Expected to serve, but not to attend. Despite cutting me from the guest list, my parents still expected my help. My mother called days later. "Can you pick up the wedding favors? Veronica's busy with fittings." "I'm not going," I reminded her. She sighed. "Don't be petty, Lena. Family helps family." My father texted next. "We need someone to organize the gift table. You're good at that." I replied, "Ask someone who's invited." He responded, "You're being difficult after everything we've done for you." Then Veronica messaged me. "I know you're hurt, but this is my day. Please don't make it about you." A week later, my cousin told me my family had replaced me in photos. Literally. A distant relative, Melissa, was now standing where I would have been. My mother even posted on Instagram, "So blessed by our beautiful family." Melissa front and center. Someone commented, "Who's the new girl?" Mom replied, "Oh, she's practically our daughter." They didn't erase me by accident. It was intentional, the final straw. A week before the wedding, my mother called again. "We've gone a little over budget. We're asking close family to pitch in $2,000. I almost laughed. "You uninvited me, but you still want me to pay?" "This isn't about attendance," she said coldly. "It's about supporting your sister." My father got on the line. "We've supported you your whole life, Lena. It's the least you can do." I kept my voice even. "You paid for Veronica's college, car, and apartment. You gave me half and told me to figure it out. I did. And now I'm figuring this out." I hung up. That night, I sat on my couch staring at an email. One I'd been hesitating over for weeks. A job offer from a major tech company in Seattle. $120,000 salary. Full relocation package. Start date in 2 weeks. I'd been hesitant before, afraid to move away from family. Now I realized, what family? I clicked accept, and that's where my real story began. What my family didn't realize was that I'd been preparing for this moment all along. 3 months earlier, a recruiter had reached out through LinkedIn, a senior data analyst role at a major Seattle tech firm. I'd gone through the interviews quietly, never mentioning it to anyone. When the offer came, I hesitated, mostly because of family obligations, the wedding, the guilt. But the night they disinvited me, that hesitation disappeared. For years, they measured worth in filters and photographs. They'd never noticed someone who built something quietly until she was gone. The hidden work behind the scenes. I'd already been planning an exit. My apartment lease was month to month, by choice. I'd paid off my debts early, set up savings, and made sure nothing tied me down. I'd helped my parents financially more than they ever admitted. $5,000 when my dad's dealership had a rough quarter, another $3,000 for home repairs they couldn't afford. Never repaid, never even mentioned. Meanwhile, they bought Veronica a luxury SUV and paid her rent for 2 years. I had receipts for every transaction, not for revenge, but for clarity. I'd also been journaling every slight, every lie, every request disguised as love. Writing helped me remember the truth when gaslighting tried to rewrite it. I wasn't alone either. My best friend from college, Kara, already lived in Seattle. She'd helped me research apartments and neighborhoods. My mentor, Richard, had written the reference letter that sealed the deal. When I hit accept on that offer, I also hit start on my new life. The quiet goodbye. I didn't tell my parents, didn't tell Veronica. Only my closest friends knew. While they were planning flower arrangements, I was packing boxes. While they practiced family speeches, I was canceling my utilities. My movers were scheduled a week before the wedding. The day they uninvited me officially was the same day I booked my one-way ticket to Seattle. Veronica's bachelorette trip flooded social media. Matching dresses, champagne, hashtags like "Oh, blessed bride." My parents commented hearts and pride emojis on every post. Not one mention of me. They texted occasionally, "Can you help us finalize the seating chart? We need someone to pick up decorations." I replied with the same 2 words each time. "Can't help." My mother finally snapped, "You're being selfish, Lena. This is family. But family doesn't erase you." The wedding that happened without me. The day before the wedding, my mother called one last time. "We need you to set up the gift table at 6 a.m. tomorrow." "I can't," I said simply. She scoffed. "Fine. Be that way. You'll regret this." The next morning, while they were tying ribbons and posing for photos, I was 30,000 feet in the air, flying to my new beginning. My old apartment stood empty, keys left with the landlord. My phone number was scheduled for deactivation by the end of the day. By the time my plane landed, I was unreachable. Kara met me at the airport with open arms. "You really did it," she said, grinning. I really did. Back home, my mother tried calling me, probably to send photos or flaunt the perfect day. She got a number disconnected message instead. They had their flawless family portrait. I was no longer part of the frame. The aftermath. A week later, my mother showed up at my old apartment, only to find strangers moving in. The landlord told her, "She moved out 2 weeks ago, gave proper notice." She panicked, called my old job. The receptionist politely said, "Lena no longer works here. She relocated." "To where?" "I'm sorry, we can't share that." My parents started calling everyone. Cousins, old friends, co-workers. No one had an answer. Then my mother made a Facebook post. "Has anyone heard from Lena? She's not answering calls." A relative replied, "Maybe she's busy. Didn't you uninvite her from the wedding?" The comments exploded. People started asking questions. My mother deleted the post. The call, 2 weeks later, I called them. Blocked number, private ID. My mother answered. "Hello? It's me," I said. "Lena." Relief, anger, and guilt tangled in her voice. "Where have you been? We've been worried sick." "I moved," I said evenly. "I have a new job. I live in Seattle now." Silence. Then my father's voice, sharp and disbelieving. "Seattle? When were you planning to tell us?" "I wasn't." "What do you mean you weren't?" "You told me not to come to Veronica's wedding because I didn't fit your aesthetic," I said quietly. "So I decided to remove myself from your picture completely." My mother tried to backpedal. "That's not what we meant. It's exactly what you meant." I continued before they could twist it. "You erased me from family photos, lied about me having a work conflict, still asked me for money. I got a senior analyst job, 6 figures, relocation package. They saw value in me, even if you didn't." Veronica grabbed the phone. "Lena, this is insane. You can't just cut everyone off." "You said it was best I didn't come to your wedding," I replied. "I'm just extending your logic." I took a breath, calm but firm. "I've loaned you over $8,000 these past years. Never repaid, never acknowledged. You funded Veronica's entire life while telling me to be independent. Well, I am." My mother started crying. "We're your family." "No," I said softly. "Family doesn't erase you. Family doesn't demand money while pretending you don't exist." My father sighed. "If you'd just been more cooperative." "I was cooperative for 29 years. I'm done now." I hung up. The rebirth Seattle became everything my hometown never was. Quiet, open, forgiving. My new job was challenging, but I thrived. My coworkers respected me. My opinions mattered. Kara introduced me to her friends, artists, engineers, people who valued authenticity over appearances. For the first time, I didn't feel like a supporting character. I felt like the author. My parents kept trying. Emails, voicemails, social media. My mother's messages ranged from guilt to anger. "Please come home. We miss you. You're overreacting." Veronica sent one too. "I didn't think you'd actually leave. I'm sorry." I didn't reply. I blocked them all. The truth spreads. 3 months later, my aunt, the only one who'd ever been kind to me, reached out. "I just wanted to say I'm proud of you," she said on a video call. Not many people have the courage to walk away from that. She told me my parents were telling everyone I'd abandoned the family. But the truth is coming out. She added, "People saw how they treated you." That small validation felt like sunlight. 6 months later, I got promoted at work. Senior data strategist. My apartment overlooked the city skyline. I started dating a coworker who actually listened when I spoke. Life was peaceful. Then one day, a holiday card arrived from my parents. A gold envelope, elegant handwriting. Inside, "We miss you. Love, mom, and dad. No apology, no acknowledgement, just nostalgia. I smiled, then dropped it straight into the trash. For once, their silence didn't hurt. It freed me. If you've ever had to walk away from people who never saw your worth, hit subscribe right now. Tell me your story in the comments. Have you ever been excluded or underestimated until you decided to choose yourself? This community is for you, for the ones who realized walking away isn't running, it's arriving. Because disappearing from people who never valued you is how you finally show up for yourself.